As the world watched in horror the downing of the Twin Towers on September 11, 2001, Welles Crowther would methodically risk exchanging his life for the lives of others trying to escape the burning tower. This encounter would cost him his life. As our nation continues to explore ways to keep the U.S. free from terror and explore the causes and events that led to this disaster, this young American hero, known as the Man in the Red Bandana, reminds us of the sacrifices made by many of our fellow Americans. On the morning of September 11, 2001, Welles Crowther was just a normal guy, one of thousands working in the South Tower of the World Trade Center. It was just like any other day for Welles and his other Equities training businessmen until 8:45 when the earth shook and the plane violently crashed into the North Tower of the World Trade Center.
Live shot there. That is the World Trade Center, and we have unconfirmed reports this morning that a plane has crashed into one of the towers of the World Trade Center.
Welles Crowther was born on May 17, 1977, and grew up in a small town called Nyack, New York, which was just outside of Manhattan, New York, where the World Trade Center was located. Welles is about an hour away from the bright lights of downtown New York, New York. Here's a neat perspective from where I grew up to where he grew up. When Welles was about 6 years old, he began to carry around a red bandana everywhere he went. It all started when his father first handed him a white handkerchief and said that was for show. And then he gave him a red bandana, and his father said, "Here's a bandana. That's to blow your nose." The red bandana soon became a signature between father and son. When Welles got older and turned 16, he immediately signed up to be an Empire hook and ladder firefighter, and he was very passionate about helping others and was focused on his job each and every day. You could tell by his attitude that it wasn't just like a job for him. It was an honor to be out there and saving lives every day. The Empire Hook and Ladder Fire Station was just a few blocks away from Wells's house, where he lived, so it also made it very convenient to go to work every day. By 1999, after Welles graduated from Nyack High School, he decided to move to Manhattan, New York, where he then accepted a job as an equities trader for the company Sandler O'Neill. Crowther worked on the 104th floor of the World Trade Center's South Tower. Welles had always wanted to work in New York City, where the bright lights were, but also there was still that little thing left in him that was telling him to go be a firefighter again. He called his dad one day and said, "I think I want to be a New York City firefighter. If I sit in front of this computer for the rest of my life, I'll go crazy." On September 11, 2001, at 8:46 in the morning, a hijacked American Airlines Flight 11 from Boston slams into the North Tower of the World Trade Center. At that moment in time, the people who saw it with their own eyes were shocked and in terror beyond words. The world had changed just like that.
A live picture of the World Trade Center, where we have just received word that a plane apparently has crashed into the tower, one of the two towers.
Welles, who was in the South Tower, called and left a message for his mother.
Mom, this is Welles. I want you to know that I'm okay.
And he was right. He was okay. But boy, did he ever know what was to come. As the North Tower continued to burn, people couldn't imagine anything worse than this sight until 9:02 a.m., when the world witnessed a terrorist attack at its worst. as Flight 175 of American Airlines came blistering fast and demolished the South Tower of the World Trade Center. In the 78th floor sky lobby, there are around 200 people waiting to go down elevators when the plane ripped through their floor. Many instantly died with a flash, and others who were severely injured lie there in pain and agony, not knowing what to do. Stranded where there seemed no way out, the few still alive then heard a man with a strong, confident voice saying, "I found the stairs. Follow me. Only help the ones that you can help." The few people got up courageously and followed the man. The man then led them down 17 floors to the 61st floor, where they found firefighters who were there to lead them down to working elevators. After that, when it seemed the man who helped them could reach safety, he went back up the 17 flights of stairs and found more people in the lobby, whom he led just like others to safety. The people didn't know who he was, where he was from, or what his name was, but all they could tell was that he wore a red bandana around his mouth to cover from the smoke and burning flames. As the man in the red bandana went back up to help more, the South Tower collapsed. When Wells's parents saw the tower fall, they knew Welles was lost and gone forever in the dust and debris. I can't even imagine the emotions that came rushing through their bodies and all of America's hearts as the tower came down with a thud. 29 minutes later, at 10:28, the North Tower then came falling down with a ferocious slam into the grounds of New York and spitting dust and debris every which way. Leaving the city in a black smoke of dust. The next day, every single newspaper blew up with commentary on the attacks and how mad America was. Head captions like "America's Darkest Days," "Terrorists Attack New York," "It's War," and the biggest question of all, who did this? Then, that began the search for the suspect of who would do such a terrible thing to Americans. Later, they found out the attacks on 9/11 was led by Osama bin Laden and 19 other men who were most from Saudi Arabia. On March 19, 2002, 6 months after the attacks, Wells's body was found in what appeared to be the same sky lobby of the 78th floor next to uniformed firefighters. But Wells's parents still didn't know about his death until that May, when Welles Crowther sat down one morning and read a New York Times article called "Fighting to Live as the Towers Died" by various people who had survived from South Tower. In one section, Judy Ween talked about a mysterious man with his mouth covered with a red bandana. Instantly, Welles Crowther knew she had found Welles. Today, Wells's legacy still lives on, and there are many events throughout the year that honor him, including the Boston College Red Bandana 5K and Red Bandana Hero Award every year. Welles Crowther, you will always be remembered for your brave heroism on 9/11.